Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Lika Kenobi. And before we get started, guys, please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. So, I just got home from watching Superman, and I'm going to say this: with all the articles that I've read, what I've shown you, all the video clips that we have seen, how bad it was in the movie. With the marketing, it was all there. Everything that I've read in article, everything that was read in articles that I've shown you, that I've talked about, was all in there, bro. James Gunn saying that it's going to be political, which it is. You know, they focused it on him being on the government being nervous about Superman, that if he could be trusted because of his abilities of what he could do and everything. But Luthor, he did not care. He knew he was a danger, that he was a threat, but they didn't want to listen to him. So, of course, he used social media to defeat Superman. And apparently it worked, because he lost during the battle, during that first battle that he fought with this so-called being. I don't want to damn try to spoil the movie, so I'm going to tell you right now. I don't want to try to spoil it. You see him falling in defeat, and everybody was using their phones, looking at him and asking him, "Why? What happened, man? I thought you had this guy handled." And you could tell in his facial, Superman, he was a bit frustrated. Now, the interview with Lois and Clark, aka Superman, it's in there too. She kept pushing him, asking him the tough questions. She kept pushing, because in Richard Donner's Superman, in Bryan Singer's Superman, and in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, or Batman v Superman, there was none of that conflict happened. None of that big argument, conflict ever happened with him. And of course, in the interview, he just couldn't he couldn't control it. Because in there he was frustrated. He got so frustrated because he was trying to do what he wanted to do, what he was chosen to do, and everything. But of course, Lois is saying that he needed approval from the government to do what he had to do. And that was wrong. Superman is somebody that goes in when there's danger. Because I'll give you an example. In the show Superman and Lois, Clark, played by Tyler Hoechlin, he's in a scene that him and his family were doing housework and everything. All of a sudden, he hears something happening in China. He had to fly all the way to China to help a fleet, or if it was Russian, I think it was Russian, to help a submarine being sunk with nuclear weapons and everything. Not only he helped the Russians, he helped also the Americans too. And then the general from America were arguing with him, why did you help the Russians? They're our enemies. Superman is like, well, enemy or not, I'm here to save lives. I'm making sure everyone is at peace together, But, it's like they pushed it. I mean, they really try to push this movie too much, That's in my book, bro. Now, for the Justice Gang, this was like Guardians of the Galaxies all over again, bro. You had Guy Gardner being Star-Lord. You had Mr. Terrific being Rocket Raccoon. You had Hawkgirl being Gamora. You had Metamorpho. He's in the movie, by the way. You have him as Groot. And then, of course, Superman as Drax. And they try to make it so humor, jokey and everything and all, like funny. And I'm like, I wasn't laughing, man, because it's like the DC universe, the DC comic books, these are dark characters. These characters are dark. Superman, he is somebody that brings hope and everything, but in a darker, in a darker time and everything and all. But that's what I've read in my comic books. But he is somebody that brings hope and everything and all that. Batman is a dark character. Wonder Woman, she does things very strictly and everything, but in a balance of it. But like I said, dude, I mean, the movie has its mistakes. It has its up and downs. I will put it that. The acting was good. I liked the acting. Nicholas Hoult, he played a good Luthor, but I know he cannot beat Kevin Spacey nor Gene Hackman, bro. No way. Dave Cornsweet, he played a good Superman and all, but Clark Kent. Now this movie a little upset me because they didn't focus too much on. They did not focus on Clark Kent at all. They did not focus on Clark Kent. They were just focusing it on Superman. So David Cornsweet, his acting on Clark Kent, it did not help at all. He wasn't being goofy that normally Clark would be. He was just being Superman, basically. The only difference was he wore glasses and all that. But, and then you don't know much about Hawkgirl, like Maxwell Lord. He was only there for one scene, just one scene. But he did not explain, okay, I present to you the Justice Gang. You have Hawkgirl who does this, who's from this, Guy Gardner who's from this, and Mr. Terrific from this and this. Didn't explain the characters at all. You didn't like. Now, I know they're trying not to do origin stories, which he did not do. He was trying to, move it forward with everything. But still, it's like. I don't know, man. Now, Luthor, he had a way of defeating Superman by using social media against him, bro. So of course he could, but not only that, he had a character, Ultraman, that defeated Superman many of times until the end that Superman finally figured out how to defeat him. And then of course you had Engineer, the woman, She reminded me of the T-1000, But and then he had the Kaiju, the creature. It didn't explain much of the creature, how they captured it and everything like that. But James Gunn, he picked it out from pieces of the comic books and just tried to put it all together, mixed it up, and it just did not. I mean, it's like I said, dude. The movie was comic booky. I'll give it that. The movie was comic booky, but it just, with the politics involved and the social media, it just did not. It really did not work for me, man. It just didn't work. It really didn't work. That's why I was going to give it a 2.5 out of 5, but I'll leave it as a 3 because the movie was fine. It had good action, and, the acting was good. So, like I said, dude, that's my thoughts on this movie, and everything. So, like I said again, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. And that's going to be it. So you guys let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of this movie? Have you guys seen it yet? You guys let me know what you thought. So please share this video, post a comment below, let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being part of the channel. And I hope to see you guys until next time. Bye, everyone.